happened. Two people broke down on the side of the road. Horrible feeling. I know this feeling. Is that a tow truck I see in the distance approaching? Oh, it's live. All right. I was going to pull over. Give me a second. Peace. Yeah, so real quick. Peace, everyone. Yeah, I'm as usual on the road, right? So something just happened, and I was thinking about it, and I haven't done a live in a while, so I said, okay, I could share this on the live. Excuse me for not looking in the camera, but I don't feel like crashing. Right. So I'm driving. I'm coming through Virginia right now. I usually don't say where I am when I'm there. You know, give thanks, Baba Curry. Coming through Virginia, right? And I'm still traffic, but there was all this traffic, right? And I looked in front of me and I saw this smoke. So I was like, oh man, it must have been a pretty bad accident up front. And I saw the smoke like maybe 3/4 of a mile away, you know? And get up there and I see this elder woman in a Ford Taurus, and it was just smoke spilling out of the front of the vehicle. So I'm looking and I'm saying, oh, she looked like she was by herself. So I pull over. Sorry about that. Got a phone call. I bet he calls right back. So, what was I saying? So, I'm sorry, man. I'm hitting buttons and shaking things. You know, I'm not good at the live thing. So anyway, I pull over because there was a woman there, and she's an elder woman, and she's like looking underneath the hood. She had didn't I say he was gonna call right back? I knew he was gonna call right back. Why do people do that? Like, if you call and I put it on decline, that means it's not a good time. He's gonna call again. Anyway, what was I? And I gotta get gas. I'm running out of gas. So I saw this elder woman. I pull over because I'm looking and I'm saying, wait, why isn't anyone helping her? And I said, okay, maybe she waved them all away. Maybe she's okay, and she waved everyone away that, you know, would have helped her. But I said, let me pull over. Just, you know, I'll let her wave me away, but let me pull over just to be sure. And I come up and, I mean, it's late now, shoot, because this happened a while ago. I was out there I just pulled off. So I said, good afternoon. I said, do you need some help? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. She said it just started smoking. And at first, it's a cop car. You know, you're not supposed to hold your phone and all that. What was I saying? So at first, I'm smelling it, and it smelled like there was oil dripping down on the engine. So I said, did you just put oil in the car? She said, yes. But it was actually yesterday. She said, yes. I said, oh, okay, maybe it's not a big deal. It might just be oil dripping on the engine block and it's burning, and that's what you're smelling, right? So, but then I'm also seeing antifreeze, and I'm smelling antifreeze. but I didn't want to, I said, okay, well, maybe it's you got a little radiator issue going on here, right? So I take the cap off of the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. What's up with all this traffic, man? Should I get gas now? Nah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna risk it. So, I took the cap off the coolant reservoir, and of course, once I did that, all the steam just came up, right? So she was like, "Oh my goodness!" I said, "It's okay. You want it to cool off." She was there with her daughter, which I saw once I pulled in, and her daughter came out, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know," and da da da. They said, we had a mechanic. They were coming from her brother-in-law's funeral, and she said, "Yeah, we're coming from a funeral, and we're heading to Richmond. Richmond is like an hour and a half from where we're at right now." So I said, "Okay, well, let's let it cool off." I checked the intake hose while the hood was popped open, and I saw that the intake peace low. I saw that the intake hose, the intake hose was I could still squeeze it, and it wasn't very hot. So I knew from right there that the thermostat wasn't opening up to let the coolant into the block, right? So I told her, I said, maybe it might just have a thermostat issue. Man, I was out there so long with them people, I'm like literally like sleepy now. And I still got another 15 hours to go. So, I said, you can't really drive it like this if the thermostat's not opening up, because you're going to ruin your engine. You're going to ruin the block. So she had her son-in-law. She said, I can call my son-in-law, but I bother him all the time, and I hate bothering him. This is the elder speaking. And she was there with her daughter. And her daughter was, I guess, using the phone, trying to call whatever, right? So I was like, well, listen, I'm headed way past Virginia, but I actually was thinking about stopping in Virginia. I didn't say all this at the time, but I was thinking about stopping in Virginia, in Richmond in particular, in Richmond, because there's a restaurant there that I like. So I was going to go by there and, rest up for a minute, get some food, and move forward. So I was like, listen, I could take you if you like. We can limp the car to the next exit, because we're like a half a mile from the next exit. We could limp the car to the next exit, park it. I said, do you have some men in your family who can come and drive up and take care of it? Because if it's just a thermostat, they could do that in the parking lot. And I was like, even if I had some tools right now, I could do it for you. And the elder was like, yeah, thank you. That sounds beautiful. The daughter was like, because some strange man with New York plates just pulls off, the side of the road. And I pulled off because I'm like, yeah, I'm down south, man. Where's all this? Where's the southern hospitality? Like, someone else should have pulled off. And they told me, he was like, no one stopped. But once I stopped, another guy, a brother, pulled up. He had like a big construction truck, and he came out with a fire extinguisher. I guess he thought, like I thought something was on fire. I said, no, it's the radiator. He was like, all right. And he pulled off. And then while we were there, another brother, he was just driving by in a pickup, and he gave me the thumbs up like, you're okay. And I said, we're all right. Lo and behold, though, I took the caps off the plugs while the engine was cooling, and I saw all of this coolant in the spark plug sockets, right? So once I saw the coolant in the spark plug sockets, I knew, like, okay, she blew the head. She blew that head gasket, or the head is warped. So then what happened was, I said, well, let's try to limp it up to the exit. We started moving. We were moving. Then she ended up stopping it. The daughter was driving. Went to start it again. It wouldn't even crank over. So I know what that was. There's water or coolant all inside of the crankcase. So it's a big issue. Now, that's the nothing part of the story. So I sat there and waited, and I'm telling them, listen, I'll take you. So they were like, you know what? I think we'll take you up on your offer. So I said, okay, because I don't want you to stay here, and But at that point, I was like, now you got to tow the car though, because we can't move it. So they were calling a tow truck, and the daughter was like, you know what? I'm gonna trust you. And I'm like, I said, trust me? You might slit my throat while I'm driving. You know what I mean? It's an hour and a half with a stranger. So she said, I'm gonna trust you. We're gonna get in the car. I said, listen, and this is the point why I'm doing this live. I said, I'm going to teach you how to trust me. This is what you're going to do. Take your smartphone out, take a picture of me, and I pulled out some state ID, and I just covered my address. I ain't giving you my address, but I said, you got my verified name here in my picture. Okay, now traffic is moving. So I said, take a picture of this. I'm going to hold my ID up next to my face, and then I want you to go take a picture of my license plate, and I want you to send that to your son immediately, right now, immediately. So did that. I didn't even think about doing that. I said, yeah, well, always think about doing that. You don't know me. Maybe I just drive around looking for women to pick up. You know what I'm saying? And then the grandmother was like, well, I want your address because I want to send you something. Well, her mother. And I said, no, you ain't going to send me nothing. You know, I said, it's nothing, you know, I want to help you. It's no problem. And she was like, yeah, you just like my son-in-law, Billy. He won't accept money. And I said, because as men, we express our love through duty and responsibility. That's how we're going to show you that we love you. So I said, who is this? Oh, okay. Stuff coming in. So I said, I'm going to show you my love that I have for my people. That's why I pulled over. I'm not going to see you just sitting here on the side of the road. And I was there with them for a long time. So eventually what happened was the son, they had a son, his name was Billy. No, the son wasn't. The brother-in-law was Billy. Son-in-law was Billy. The daughter's son was something with a D. Danny or something like that. I saw his name when it popped up on the phone. So she said, oh, they're on their way up. They're coming up. I said, okay, cool. So I was waiting with them, and she said, you know, they called the tow truck, and the tow trucker was like, yo, it'll be 75 minutes. And mind you now, I'm like 3 hours off my schedule, right? But that's how it always is. That's what happened last time I did the live. Remember with, his name, Brian? The guy I met at the rest stop? Took me way off my schedule having that conversation with him. But when you're traveling around the nation, we'll say, to do healing work, you're never really off schedule because there's always healing work to do, right? So, like I said, I gave her my information. I was like, listen, here's my phone number. You got my license plate. You got my picture. You got my ID. You know, that's how you need to be safe out here, you know. And lo and behold, what was interesting, they were from New York. They lived down in Richmond, but the grandmother, the mother was like, yeah, I moved down here 9 years ago, and I hate it. I missed the 2 train. I used to ride the 2 train, and I could get anywhere I wanted. I lived on 233rd in Laconia. I don't know if y'all know. No, she's at 224th in Laconia. That's right off the 2 line. I was like, oh, yeah, I know your stop. You know, and she was like, down here, there's no sidewalks. The public transportation don't run on the weekends. You know, I said, yeah, it's not New York, you know. So she's like, I hate it down here. So that just compounded. And now my car's broke down. She's like, I need my car. I need my car. I pick my grandson up from school every day. That's why I need this car. I didn't have the heart to tell her at that time. I still didn't tell her. I told the daughter. I whispered it to her. I didn't have the heart to tell her, like, I'm pretty positive your head gasket is blown. At first I told her, I said, maybe it's just a thermostat. Looks like your thermostat's not opening up. But when I told him to go sit inside while we wait, because the breeze was coming and it's dangerous on the side of the road, I said, I'll stand up next to the car so you people can see. So I was just out there waiting, but then I was inspecting the car, and yeah, man, once I saw that coolant in the spark plug sockets and it was leaking and it was over, man, that head gasket blown. It was an older Ford Taurus, probably like maybe a 2001, 2002. Who's this? Oh, my bad. Ford Taurus. So I said, well, these are good cars, and you know, but they're all aluminum and plastic in the engine. But I'm trying to like cheer the old woman up, you know. And she was like, just thank you so much. I can't believe you came to help. And I was like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah, I'm gonna come. I'm not gonna drive by. And I darn near caused the accident coming to help them because I had to cut over. I cut over from the far left lane, and they were on the right shoulder. But whatever. You know, I'm from New York, man. I know how to. I know how to impose my will with a vehicle. I know how to be obnoxious with a car. So I said, well, this is what you do. When I first thought it was a thermostat, and she told me her people were coming up, I said, see if your son can bring a thermostat with him, because the truth is, he could change his thermostat on the side of the road. Just bring a gallon of coolant and a thermostat and some tools. He could do it right here, because, you know, those Ford Tauruses, everything is mounted up top. And the daughter was like, he is not handy. I said, okay, well, you got other men. Who else? You know, because I guess the family's in Richmond. I said, well, bring somebody who's handy. And they were like, nobody's handy. So I'm thinking in my head, then what are these Negroes coming up here for? You might as well just let me drive you down to Richmond like I offered. But I knew the daughter was like kind of apprehensive, which is understandable because she doesn't know me. But, you know, I'm like that, man. I don't mind helping out. Plus, I'm driving through Richmond anyway. And it give me an excuse to hit the Ethiopian spot. But I should probably pull here and get gas. I got no gas. Now I'll go to the next one. That's how I be breaking down sometimes. I like to push it. So yeah, so when they said that people, they was like, well, we called the tow truck and they'll take us 50 miles. But from where we're at, or were, because I've been driving since I've been talking to y'all, Beach Jessica, Richmond is 88 miles. It's like an hour and a half, right? So I was like, well, he might take you 50 miles or drop you in the middle of nowhere. You might be in some hick town. So, you know, I said, you're probably better off leaving it up here. We were at Lorton. There's an Amtrak station there. I said, and there's a hospital. I said, there definitely will be some place to park. And then you can have, you know, your people tow it or whatever, or have a mechanic up here fix it, but have the men go at least. Because if you see two women an hour and a half from their home, cars smoking, it's late now, and you're going to go to a mechanic, you know, and I told her, so you know what they're going to do. And she was like, yeah. I said, they're going to make everything wrong with that car. Now, meanwhile, it's the head gasket, so technically everything is wrong with that car already, you know. But anyway, my whole point is I'm doing a live, right? Because I'm driving off, and let me put my cruise control on before I get pulled over. Let me go into old man mode. I go a little faster than that. All right, that's cool. Yeah, man. You got these males. I can't even say men. You got these males in your family, and what good are they? Grandma's driving this old Ford Taurus, which is okay. It was a nice little Ford Taurus. It had leather interior, black leather, had the sunroof. So she had the deluxe package, even though it was an older Ford Taurus. But you know, Grandma's probably on a budget. You know, and they only drove her car instead of the daughter's car because she said, "Yeah, my car burns less gas." So we figured we take my car. Should I get gas? Nah, I'm gonna go down to Quantico. I don't feel like pulling over for gas right now. How much I got? It's on E, but we're gonna go for the ride. So yeah, like I was saying, you got these guys in the family, they can't even come up and swing a wrench. What kind of mess is that, man? Can't even come up and swing a wrench. And they're going to a funeral, so that means these dudes were home. It's Saturday right now. Well, yeah, it's live, so you know it's Saturday. You going to the funeral of your brother, why didn't they go with you? Because they told me that they drove an hour from, the funeral was an hour from where we were. So they were 2.5 hours from Richmond, from where they live. Why didn't somebody drive with them? You got an elderly woman, and the daughter was probably, she looked maybe mid to late 40s, I would say, maybe. Yeah, mid to late, feisty little thing too. She was going off on the automation. I hate automation. She was trying to get a tow truck. They keep sending me the automation. She was going off. And then when I gave her all my, I said, listen, I'm gonna teach you how to trust me. I gave her my license. I was like, if you're gonna drive in my car, you need to know who I am. I could be anybody. She was like, well, shoot. Maybe we need to see about holding you for ransom. You got any family? And I was like, you shouldn't joke like that. That's not the joke to make right now, you know. But yeah, you got all these guys in the family and can't even take a 2.5-hour trip with grandma to go bury her brother-in-law. You know, and then sitting at home, because I called one of them because she said, can you talk to them on the phone and explain to them the problem with the engine? Because, you know, and it's not to say that women don't understand anything about mechanics or can't, but these two just happen not to. So I got on the phone with Billy and I'm explaining, but I could tell he wasn't really listening. I'm like, listen, man, it's you know, it might be the thermostat, the upper radiator. So I'm talking in mechanic terms. He's like, so it's smoking. So yeah, all right. Man, wait, I could barely hear you. Of course you could barely hear me, dummy. I'm on the side of the road. This cars wasn't by. I could barely hear you. So it's smoking? Oh, man. So what they want to do? What they want to do? I was just like, you know what? That's why I got to stay here and wait and be knocked 3 hours off my schedule, because these women are alone. They're alone. So then she was like, yeah. I said, so yeah, I told him I would take him down to Richmond. And he was like, okay, yeah, that's what they want to do. He didn't even ask me. See, if that was me, right? First of all, that was me. I would have been in the car. I would have drove grandma. But either way, if that was me, I would have been like, oh, man, thanks. I appreciate that. What's your name, by the way? You know what I mean? Like, at least, hey, what's your name, by the way? Oh, okay, Chief. Cool. Oh, man, you sound... I would have played it off. I would have been slick. I would have been like, yo, man, you sound so familiar. Where you from? New York? Oh, okay. What part? Man, you still sound familiar. What's your social media? You know what I'm saying? He was just like, oh, okay. That's what they want to do? I mean, I guess it's good he picked up the phone at least. And the grandmother did say that he's the one who helps with everything. But I'm like, what help are you, bro, when you're not prepared to serve your role as a man? You know, even if you can't... Well, that's no excuse if you can't swing a wrench, man. But, yeah, I couldn't fix that head gasket on the side of the road. I get it, you know. But at least I knew it was a head gasket, you know. And on top of that, at least if he was there, he could have said, well, hey, I'll walk up to the next exit, or I'll walk y'all up to the next exit. Let's leave the car. I'm going to leave y'all at a diner up the street. I'll come back. I'll do what, you know, but worthless, man. Let me read some of these comments, man. Worthless, bro. Or say get gas, please. Yeah, I'm gonna get some gas. I don't like stopping, man. I just stopped for 3 hours, man. You know, but yeah, I guess if I don't get some gas, I'm really gonna be stopping, right? So Scholar said, I'm not car savvy, but that's what I would do with my elders. Right. I would not do that with my elders. Right, at least ride with them. You know, come on, man. And the grandson she was saying that she picks up every day is that guy's son. He's 8 years old. The grandson is 8 years old. And it just, I don't know, man. Stuff that irks me. I find that irksome, man. You're a big old man, got a big old Johnson swinging through your legs, between your legs, big old shark balls, and you can't even handle an emergency. You can't even swing a wrench, man. You can't even diagnose something simple on your mother or your mother-in-law's car, and I don't know if the woman was his wife or what. I didn't see a ring or whatever, but what are you there for? What are you there for, man? And then it's Saturday, instead of going to 2.5 hours to the funeral with them, you sitting your butt at home. And it sounds like there was a couple, because the daughter's son was like, yeah, he's coming too, because she called her son. And when she called her son, I said, listen, I'm going to give you my picture, my information. She was like, yeah, but what am I going to do with that? You can knock me over my head right now and take my phone. I said, first of all, there's all this traffic going by. That would be stupid. Second of all, send it to your son immediately. But I got the impression that her son ain't worth nothing either. I mean, I hate to be so cruel, but y'all don't know him, and you know what I mean? But I got that impression, like the son ain't about nothing either. So you got a bunch of guys just sitting at home for nothing. You know, what's it say? They were lucky to have you cross their path. Give thanks. I said I was lucky to be able to help them because I actually left a little bit late. I was a little bit off my own schedule coming down, and then we hit some traffic, which probably caused their car to overheat. So I said, man, this worked out perfect. I was complaining to myself. And I go to the next exit to get some gas. I'm gonna get some gas. I was complaining to myself that, oh man, I'm off schedule. And then I saw them, but if I hadn't been off schedule, I wouldn't have been there to help them. You know what I mean? And sit with them the time that I did. And, you know, we did move the car a little bit, but then that's when it overheated. But, or to even talk to, you know, they didn't know what the heck was going on. Or that they even had to call a tow truck. They might have tried to get back on the road and, you know, would have conked out in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess you could say they was lucky, but I felt like I was lucky. You know, I'm a prepared man. I'm prepped. In fact, the daughter made a joke because when I was walking up to my car to get my phone, I saw a rubber tie on the road, like, you know, like a strap that you strap down stuff to a truck. And I picked it up and threw it in my trunk. And she was like, look at you picking up stuff from the side of the road. I said, you never know when you might have to strap something down. Yeah, I picked it up. Must have fell off a truck or something. I'm a prepared man. You know what I mean? So the reason why I say, well, yeah, I guess they were lucky, but I was lucky because it's always a blessing when you're able to utilize what it is that you've been preparing for. It's like preparing for a fight or preparing for a sports match for years and never getting a chance to actually show what you can do. So as soon as and the grandmother kept giving me hand sanitizer. I keep saying grandmother. I mean, she's somebody's grandmother. But kept giving me hand sanitizer because I was all in, you know, it was a little dirty under the hood, and I was checking the oil. And once I saw that oil was brown and muddy, she said, well, I just had my oil changed yesterday. Yeah, when he gets that chocolate milk, I'm giving y'all some game too on diagnosing car issues. You got your car overheating like that, you check your oil. If it looks like chocolate milk, like cloudy and milky, that means your oil's mixing with your antifreeze. That means your gasket's blown. Either your head gasket is blown or your block is warped. And a lot of times on those older Fords, they made the blocks out of aluminum, which was stupid. It made the car lighter, but when they heat up, they're done. So I checked the oil was all milky, and she said, oh, and what I did with the oil, you can see it all on my hands. I still got all the stuff on my hands, my fingers. But I just wiped the stick on my hand, and then she went to go get a tissue. And by the time she came, she said, where's all the oil that you just wiped on your hand from the stick? I said, I said, ma'am, I rubbed that into my hands. That's lotion. I use that as lotion, ma'am. You know, but she got a kick out of that. She laughed, which was good. She needed to laugh. You know, but she kept trying to give me hand sanitizer. She said, don't you want to wash your hands now, young man? I said, nah, ma'am, it's fine. I like smelling like oil. You know, I don't need to wash my hands. I said, because I'm probably going to go back in there and get my hands dirty again anyway, so it's fine. But it gave me a sense of, hold on, this person don't know how to merge. All right, there we go. It gave me a sense of what she's raising back home, you know. Oh, did my car just hiccup? Yeah, maybe this next, yeah, I think I'm going to get some gas. You know when you're running low on gas and you're trying to be slick, you don't stop and your car do that hiccup? And then you go into shock. Just a little longer. I just had a hiccup. All right, I'm going to get some gas. Yeah, now my palms are sweaty. Now I'm nervous. But I got a hiccup. So we might be doing this live with me walking on the side of the road with a gas can. But, all right, what's the next exit? All right, I don't see no exit signs. Maybe I should have got gas. Maybe I should have got gas in there. Oh, I'm sweating a little bit. I'm giving my nervousness away. Let me take this sweatshirt off. I'm gonna make it. I don't see no exit signs, but I'll be alright. See, this is when you start doing the Risha rituals. SU, and SU will be like, bro, I've been told you to stop and get gas, B. I'm not helping you this time. I helped you last time. I'm not. Plus, that should be like. Plus, it's Saturday, B. I'm off. Call somebody else. Call Lucero. Yeah, you scratched into Palo. Call Lucero. Don't call me on Saturday. La Roya is off on Saturdays. Come on, extra you the road. Call your man Ogun. I'm off. It's Saturday. Imagine if the Orishas took days off. Somebody's going to teach you guys that one day, because they already teach you that you shouldn't do work with certain Orishas on certain days. So at some point they're going to be like, well, you know, Eshu is off on Saturday. But anyway, I'm all off the point. But man, I still don't see no exit signs. This ain't cool. They need to do something about this. But yeah, so my point is, man, be prepared, number one. Number two, sisters, if a man comes to help you on the side of the road, don't feel embarrassed about saying, hey, would you mind if I take a picture of you and send it to my family? You know, no offense or anything like that, but I just would like to be safe. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong. Okay, lodging. Next exit. Man, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna get some gas. But I didn't want to stop, man, because I just stopped. I was out there with them for like 3 hours, and they still are waiting for the tow truck. You know what I mean? Peace, brother Anwar. Yes, Aisha. I'm going. Basu Aisha Ra. I'm going to get some gas at this next exit. I don't know when it's coming up, but I'm gonna get some gas. But yeah, sis, you know, sisters, don't be afraid to kind of cover yourself. I often tell sisters they should do that even on dates. You know, take a picture of them and send it off to your people. Gas exit. Okay, here we go. But I'm thinking, should I get off here or should I just go to the next one? I'm feeling like the next gas station might be something better. It might be like a Shell. I prefer a Shell. This is Valero. I don't want Valero. I'm gonna go to the next exit. What y'all think? I'm joking. I'm joking. Actually, I'm kind of joking, because that's the type of internal dialogues I'll be having. The next thing you know, uh-oh. Wait, how far? This gas station is 2.1 miles from the exit? I don't want to ride that far off the exit. Y'all know what I'm about to do? I'm about to get back on the way. I don't want to ride 2.1 miles in the middle of nowhere, and for a Valero. Oh man, red light. I'm about to run this light. Oh, there's a truck coming. But alright, yeah, man. Alright, yeah, I got off. This gas better be worth it. They better have some organic vegan snacks at the gas station. But yeah, man. Yeah, so for sisters, I'm just saying that, and for you guys, I'm not even gonna call you brothers if you like that, because you ain't my brother. All of my brothers know how to work on cars, motorcycles. We know how to ride bikes. We know how to fix stuff around the house. We know how to hang sheetrock. I know how to make concrete blocks. I know how to do roofing work. I did electrical work for years. I know how to do plumbing work. That's my brothers. I'm talking about my blood brothers and my brother brothers. My brother brothers. All right? So I don't have any friends or brothers, my blood brothers, my family. I don't have any family that if I'm working on something, they're going to be standing there not knowing what to do or listening to music or something. I'll punch you in your pelvis. You know what I mean? I don't like that. You know what I mean? If you men, you got to, just like when I go to a gas station, I'm with men, you better get out this. I don't care if I'm pumping the gas, you better get out the car. Let's have a talk. Let's have a conversation while I'm pumping the gas. Don't sit in the car while I'm pumping gas. No sirree, Bob. No sirree, Bob. So, man, I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. Man, I didn't want to get gas from here. Freaking cornfields. Where the heck is this taking me? I'm about to get back on the highway. I think I can make it. I think I can make it to the next exit. I think I can. But yeah, you know, be prepared, man. And something is simple, and I understand sometimes I may be a little direct and show a little angst when it comes to situations like this, and maybe that's not altogether fair I will admit, because I know some of you guys didn't grow up with men, and some of you women didn't grow up with men, and I understand that. So, you know, I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but if you did, and you had a man or a woman trying to urge you and guide you into your responsibility as a man, and you chose not to, then yeah, man, you need to get something else, man. Like, you shouldn't even be allowed to reproduce, because what are you going to reproduce? What are you going to create in the community? And then on top of that, after you create this garbage in it, oh, my car's really hiccuping now. We almost there. We're almost there. Because I know if I conk out before, I'm going to have to push it. I'm on a hill, too. And my quads, I just finished hiking, man. I don't know if my quads could take this push up this hill. You know, these Billy Bob nowhere gas stations, if you ask them for something, hey, you got a gas can? Nope, ain't got no gas can. Knowing good and well, you know they do have a gas can. All right, now it's downhill. All right, so I'm good. But like I was saying, yeah, man, if you've been told, man, it's a serious thing. Because, okay, grandma and mommy was on the side of the road just now, and what if I was someone who hated females? What if I would have went into that hood of that car? Okay, here we go. Valero. What if I would have went into the hood of that car and ripped some things up? I could have done that. You know, or what if I would have said, yeah, I'll drive you down to Richmond like I offered them, and did something evil. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what tomorrow's podcast, I hit on that a little bit, but more from the mental perspective. But, you know, a lot of times we put ourselves in these really bad situations. I don't even like how this gas station look, man. There's no lights. Oh, okay, I see one sister in there. All right, so there's a sister over there. I feel better. What's she over there doing? Playing her lotto. All right, there's a sister playing lotto. All right, so now I feel more at home. If I don't see no black people somewhere playing lotto, then I don't feel comfortable. It could be an ambush. So anyway, yeah, man. Like I was just saying, you know, be prepared, man. And a lot of times we put our family in really bad circumstances because of not only our lack of preparedness, but our lack of love. A man, again, I'm going to repeat this. Hold on a second. Let me fix the seatbelt thing. Because I don't really wear seatbelts like that, but I just plug it in so the alarm doesn't go off. I know, I'm irresponsible. I know. It's a nice CB. Look at that, this guy's motorcycle. It's nice. So, yeah, 2.1 miles, exactly. You're right. Yeah. Oh, you're right. 2 + 1 is 3. That's Shu's number. And I just made it because my car was hiccuping coming up the hill. Where's my wallet? All right, give me a second, y'all. I'm just getting my wallet and stuff. I got to get this gas. And then I got to hurry up back on the road because, like I said, I'm 3 hours off schedule. But, yeah, man, a lot of times you throw your family to the wolves, like I said, because I could have been anyone just now. And and could have done anything, driving them an hour and a half away from their house. And that situation could have been avoided. First of all, because like grandma said, I took my car to the mechanic, right? And she said she took her car to the mechanic and, he gave it the once over and everything looked fine. But I said, but ma'am, head gasket or thermostat, you might not have necessarily picked up on that right away, And she said, okay. So I was explaining it to her a little bit. Just give me a second. I'm just getting some gas. But like I said, it just really bothered me that when she was like, oh, my son is coming and my son-in-law is coming. I'm like, they coming now? So that means they were here this entire time? They could have came down with you and they didn't? And you had to still go to a mechanic? Nah, running this credit. I'm gonna give you another little game. Whenever I go and I have to slide my card into something, I always see if I can pull the card reader off of whatever I'm putting it in. because sometimes they're fake card readers, and that's how they get your stuff. I actually had I hate this, well, I'm gonna claim my people. A friend of mine is the one who kind of really invented that. He was on CNN and everything. He went to jail, but he's a con man back in the days, and he figured out how to swipe people's cards. He built a machine that went over the thing, you know, like this thing right here. But anyway, so like I was just saying, I'm gonna fill up. Preparedness is the word of the day, man. And you got to show the way men, you know, like I'm gonna give you a quick example, then I'm gonna get off this line because this live, because I got some phone calls to make. I gotta let people know I'm running late. But she said, well, you know, I told her when she was like, you know, my son-in-law is always doing things and he won't take money. I said, that's how he's showing he loves you. And she was like, huh? She was like, but my grandson tells me he loves me all the time. I said, because he's an 8-year-old boy. He doesn't. I was giving a whole lesson out there on the side of the road. I said, he's a child. He doesn't know what he doesn't even know what love is. He's just saying that because you probably say to him, do you love me? So he's going to say yes. But I said, the reality is, as he gets older, that's going to quiet. Oh, the sister playing lotto is leaving. All right, so it's time for me to leave. I don't want to be the only melanoid up in here. Oh, okay, there's a brother over there buying chicken. Chicken? They sell fried chicken here. Huh. Well, I'll be. Huh. So, I said, yeah, as he grows older and changes, he's gonna show that love differently. And I said, you got to learn to embrace and love how men show love. And we show it through responsibility, doing things for you. Whereas a woman, or we accept a woman's love through her willingness to respect and obey. You know, and that's why those terms have really been, you know, kind of distorted. I know that's a brother with them rims on that old behind Ford Tahoe. And it's not a brother. Okay. Well, okay, I got another sister here. All right. So, yeah, I feel a little better. Maybe this spot wasn't so bad. Bolero. All right. But, like I was saying, $43. All right, that ain't bad. A woman will show her love, or will understand a woman's love. Let me say it that way. Will understand a woman's love through her obedience. And a man shows his love he's willing to do for you. And not for you like he buys you cards and candy and stuff like that. Got my card in my pocket here. Let me get out of here. So, country ass town. So yeah. Okay, there it is. So she was like, you know, I never looked at it like that. I said, yeah, you need to look at it like that. Because you're missing out on what's supposed to happen. So now, what does that mean in regards to her son or whoever who didn't even have the wherewithal to come to grandma to the funeral to make sure she was good? He don't love her. That's what it means. He doesn't love her. That sense has not been cultivated inside of him. And we might say, yeah, but it's because nobody taught him. Nobody taught him. Yeah, it could be that. But I don't like how this town looks. Get out of here. But I would say there's certain things that actively only kick in inside of a man's psyche, period. You see what I'm saying? So we may say like, oh, well, you know, sorry. It's easy to say like, oh, we weren't taught this or whatever, but what's naturally kicking in inside of your psyche as a man? You know, oh, let me, okay, yeah. And if that's not naturally kicking in, man, then maybe something was destroyed inside of you at a young age, or maybe the love that you could have had or should have had or would have had, you know, has been taken out of you. Because again, grandma's going 2.5, and grandma takes the grandson, and she was really a nice lady. You know, she was a really nice lady. She kept offering me money, And I was like, no. I said, what you do is just get to where you got to go safe. That's all the money I need. I gave her my phone number, and I said, just do me a favor. And I know she ain't going to text me. I said, just do me a favor, and when you get back home safe, just call me. I said, I'm going to be on the road driving all night, so it's fine. You could call me anytime. And I said, give me 1 second. I want to do my fake seatbelt thing. People always get on me about seatbelts. And like, you need to wear a seatbelt. I have to tell them, man, I'm from uptown. We don't wear seatbelts. We just fly through the windshield. I know I shouldn't joke about that. But yeah, I just said, just give me a call, please, and let me know. Not just when your family shows up, because I see them jokers ain't worth nothing. But call me. I didn't say that to her, of course. But I said, please call me when you get back to Richmond. And, just 5 seconds, let me know you made it in okay. And she said, okay, no problem. And she wrote my number down. She made me repeat it like 5 times. I got it. And she said, how do I spell it? Yuya. I got it. She wrote it all big. And then I wrote it again for her, even bigger. I said, Yuya. Just tell me. Just call and say, Yuya, I'm home. All right, that's all I need. And I said, that's your payment. That's your payment. And I'm expecting to get paid for my services. So, yeah, man, just, be prepared. And men, if you don't understand these things, nowadays with YouTube and stuff, it's so easy to learn you can learn anything. You know what I mean? Back in the days, and I still got these things, I need to get rid of them. But I used to get all of these, like wilderness manuals and Boy Scout manuals and like different car manuals. They had what they call the Haynes manual, HAYNES. You could probably still find them for like nothing. But you could get the Haynes shop manuals for your cars, and they also had the Chiltons. So Chiltons was CHILTONS, Chiltons. So you get either the Haynes manual or the Chiltons manual, and it basically is the shop manual to teach you, like if you own a certain vehicle, how to work on that vehicle. And a lot of things in vehicles are pretty much the same. So a lot of times, you get the hang of it and stuff like that. But, don't feel embarrassed, man, about asking another man, hey, man, can I help you change your oil next time you change your oil? I want to see how it's done. Or change your tire, or check your tire pressure, or whatever it is, man. You might have a friend who's doing some plumbing work in the house, or might know a brother who gardens a little bit, and he's doing some masonry work. Don't feel embarrassed to say, could you show me how to do that? Because, men, we got to build each other, man. Nobody cares about it. I'm going to give you guys another great example, then I'm going to get off. I was in Philly yesterday, right? And I'm walking down the street, and I seen this brother standing in front of this clothing store, right? And I did I just said Pete, like I always would. I'm walking down South Street in Philly, and I said, peace. And he looked at me, and he was like, what's up, bro? And I said, no, he said what's up. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, thank you. And I kind of slowed up. He was like, I needed that just now, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. I needed that. And I was like, for sure, brother, for sure. And I kept walking. But all I said was peace. All I did was look him in the eyes. He was just leaning against the wall outside the store. I looked him in the eyes. I said, peace. And I walked maybe 10 feet away, maybe 15 feet away. And I was like, let me go back. So I walked back, and I was like, brother, you good? Everything good? You all right? And he was like, man, because there was a meter lady who walked up. Now, I'm going to tell you how crazy. I don't want to turn this into another kind of thing, but I was like, you good, bro? He was like, man, I'm just going through some personal stuff. He was like, man, but I really needed that. Thank you. And I was like, listen, man. And I gave him a pound, for those you don't know, like a handshake. And I kind of gave him a half hug. And I was like, come here, man. I was like, yo, look, nobody cares about us but us. So I was like, yo, we gotta be there for each other. And he was like, word. He's like, true. So the sister who's the meter maid with the crooked wig was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. What you mean nobody care about y'all? I care. Nobody care about us. That's the problem. I'm like, I didn't say it in my head, but I'm like, man, who's talking to you? But, I didn't do that. And she was like, I was like, well, sis, she was like, I get treated the worst by you, by black men. She just came out of nowhere with all this while I'm trying to console the brother. I don't even know his situation. And I just said to her, I said, well, maybe it's your behavior that's causing them to treat you that way. And then she kept getting loud, but she put her head down. She didn't look at me after that. And yeah, bow your head. So the brother had just told me, he was like, man, he said, man, I just got a call from my ex. And it was something basically, she thinks somebody molested. No, she thinks her son, and I couldn't figure out if it was their son or if it was just her son, molested this girl. And he was like, man, I'm not in that. He was like, I'm not in that. And he said when the meter lady, he had parked, he had pulled in front of the spot because he had a little BMW right there in front of him where he was standing. He said, man, I pulled over. I guess I was like going off on the phone, and I pulled over illegally, and that's when the meter lady came and whatever. So she's about to give him a ticket. Meanwhile, he's dealing with this situation. I didn't know any of this. I was just walking down the street. I said, peace. As I do, because sometimes brothers, we need that assurance, man. Like, we need to kind of steady ourselves on each other and know that we're around each other, because it can be very lonely being a man. Not a male, a man is a very lonely position, so we talked for a minute, and I was like, and I didn't want to pry. I couldn't really surmise everything that was going on because it was so convoluted, and he was just like, yeah, and then he touching him, and he's 22 and my daughter's 20 and my daughter's 17, so somehow his daughter's in it, and I'm like a little confused, but I listened, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm like, look, well, you got to hold your strength, bro. Like, whatever you got to do, you got to do it with a cool head, and boom, boom, just he was like, man, you right, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then I walked off and went about my business. But be prepared, man. You got to be prepared, man. There's all kind of stuff happening around us, man. And you never know what kind of day a person is having. And sometimes just you being prepared and being at least enough balance within yourself to walk by someone and say, peace. It can mean the world of difference to a person. Or to pull a car over and actually know when it's the head gets whatever, so learn, man. Don't be afraid to keep learning, man, and don't be embarrassed about learning. There's things that I'm still shaky on and still trying to figure out. For example, transmissions. I've never been really that good with transmissions. I've swapped transmissions. I could take a tranny out of a car and put it back into a car, but as far as actually diagnosing transmissions issues and work, never really been my thing. Body work, I'm not a body work person. I could do little stuff. I'll bang a dent out. It ain't gonna look like much, but body work has never been much my thing. Engines, I can, brake systems, engine systems, coolant systems, exhaust systems, even your electrical system. I'm good money there under the hood. So there's always more to learn. You know what I mean? But if there was a collapse, don't worry, the engine gonna work. We're gonna be riding around and fighting off zombies, and the truck may not look like much, and it might be slipping out of third gear, but that bitch gonna run. I'm gonna make sure it run. So yeah, man, I just saying that to say that all, and like I said, it just happened, and now I gotta drive through the night. But I got my gas, like all of you. Thanks for telling me to get the gas. And yeah, there is a men's call tomorrow. First time I accompanied a low gas car from Portugal. Oh, Roland. Hey, Roland. Peace. Yeah, it's not smart to do, man. But I don't know. That's my little way of living on the edge sometimes. And it's hereditary. I'm going to tell you something real quick. My father, one time, because like I said, we do electrical work. I grew up learning how to work on circuit boards and stuff. One of the houses that I had, man, I had to change I had to do some work on the electrical panel, right? So we were doing the work and we were finishing up, and we had to change the outlets from 2-prong to 3-prong, right? So I said, let me go turn the power off, right? So I want you to see where I get some of this from. So my father, my blood father, my baba, he said, nah, leave it on. I said, leave it on. He said, yeah, man, changing outlets is so boring. He was like, sometimes I just like to make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah, this is the insanity that Chief Yuya comes from. That's the insanity that I was born out of. So he left the pot. Now I didn't do. I'm like, well, you on your own, pops. He leaves the pot, and I mean, and I've been electrocuted. My family laughs about that all the time. They're like, yo, you stay getting electrocuted. I've been electrocuted a lot. Like, I'm just used to it now. Like, it's like you know, freaking basil on a salad for me. But yeah, he did the whole thing, and he's sitting there all like trying not to shock himself, just for something to do. You know, so I guess as we get older, I guess us assign our new men. As we get older, we get dumber. Well, yeah, Lo says, if you can't turn a wrench, wrenches are so new tech nowadays, it's not so caveman now. Yeah, like, and then you got YouTube, like you don't even have to buy manuals anymore. Something's going on with your car, just put a quick Google search. Car is smoking, won't turn over. You know, and then see what comes up, man. But, you know, again, you have to know the value of your role to know the things that you're supposed to prepare for. And you got to have a long-term vision and always be thinking about disaster preparedness. Because, like, with those two ladies, and they're probably still there, disaster preparedness. You know, and luckily I had, like, jugs of water, and because I keep water in my car. I had some trail mix and some fruit. So I was like, listen, I got a mango. It's huge. You know, I got a knife. Y'all can have my mango. I got some peaches. I got some trail mix. I got water. I said, you know, so, you know, if y'all want, I give you some food. You know, when I was getting ready, I was like, but I got you. I said, I got plenty of food here. If you want to, you know, if you're going to be here. And I said, if you want, you can even call me. I'll sit on the phone with you while I'm riding down the highway, whatever. But disaster preparedness. And she was like, no, we got some stuff. And the daughter pulled out some candy bars. So I was like, all right. So I gave some of the trail mix to the grandmother. I was like, here, just take some, you know, some pumpkin seeds and you know, stuff. I said, just take some. It's just, you know, if you don't want to, just give it to your grandson. But yeah, disaster preparedness. All right. So I'm out, man. I'm so off schedule. It's not even funny right now. And I still got probably a good 14 hours to go on the road. So I'm probably gonna give myself a gallon of black seed oil to keep my energy high, man. Some black seed oil I got, and I got some quercetin. I'm gonna take some of that, and I'll probably pull over at a rest stop and do some push-ups, get myself up. All right. And if that don't work, then I'll do another live. All right, so I'm out, man. Yeah, have your bug out bag in the car. I read all these comments, man. But yeah, I agree. Whatever y'all said, I'm scrolling through them right now. Yeah. All right, so until such time, man, y'all be cool, man. Let me go handle the rest of my day. All right. All right. Peace, everyone. Peace. So, I just got a update for those of you who saw the live yesterday. I just got an update from the elder. You know, real quick for those who weren't on the live yesterday. yesterday, while traveling, came across an elder and her daughter, and they were stranded on the side of the road. So I gave them a hand, and it's in alive, which is, well, maybe the live is gone by now, but she was having some car issues, and I stayed with them for a couple hours, and I diagnosed the issue with the car, and talked to him and gave him some stuff and whatever. So she just called me about maybe 7 minutes ago, and she left a message because I saw that the number come. I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't pick it up because I don't pick up unknown numbers. And she said, I'm calling for Yuya, and I just wanted to. We made it back. She said, I was going to try to pull it up while I was on the live, but I think if I try to pull it up, it's going to kill the live. But she said, she said, you were a perfect gentleman. Thank you so much. And I wish there was something that I could do for you. That was a voicemail she left. So I called her back, and she told me that, she had someone, a mechanic from Richmond, come up and take a look, and he thought the same thing, that it was the head gasket, but it wasn't. It was the belt to the water pump, which is not a good sign because that means the water pump's probably going to. But she was so excited that it wasn't as bad as the mechanic thought it was, or that I thought it was, that I just left it at that. I said, yeah, that's good. And she said to me, which I thought was interesting, she said, I've been telling everybody about you since yesterday, and telling them that there really are good people left in the world. There's really good people. You were such a perfect gentleman, and this and that and that, and so she said, I just want to thank you so much, and I really want to do something for you. And I said, you being happy and you getting your car and being able to pick up your grandson, that's doing something for me. You're making me happy because it feels good to be able to do that. You're making me feel like I'm a better person than what I really am, So she was really happy. So we just got off the phone a little bit ago, and so I'm giving you all a quick update. And the other thing is this, like how she wants to give me some. She's like, I want to just give you some. First of all, I know that elder ain't got money like that. You driving a 10, 15-year-old Ford Taurus, you know what I mean? Like, you had to go to a funeral, you didn't rent a car. So, you probably, she's on a fixed income. She ain't got money like that. And even if she did, I wouldn't want it anyway. But, something that, like, really thinking about it, man, and I didn't say all that to her. I'm going to say it to y'all. I'm going to get it off my chest with you. Compared to the approval of an elder, money doesn't really mean anything. All right, yeah, I see you, Big Daddy. This truck trying to make its move. But yeah, compared to the approval of an elder, like if you are doing whatever you're doing for divine reasons, if you're being who you are, if you're living the culture that you're living for the purposes of connecting with your God or your divine energy or your higher intelligence, then receiving approval, worship, praise, sanctioning, or fortune from any energy that's close to that divine element would essentially be like you being closer to God. You see? So an elder with similar DNA as mine, bubbling, because she was like gushing. She was like, I can't believe you did all of that, and you stayed so long, and you were underneath that hood all that time, and you got down there in all that dirty antifreeze, and you this and that, and I just couldn't believe that you did all of that, and she's like gushing over. Like, so what am I going to do? I'm going to turn around and be like, Give me $20. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how valuable that is to have someone. I'm not saying that she's like got one foot in the grave or whatever, but she's a little older than me. So how valuable it is to have an elder, you know, give you that nod of approval and be happy. Like, you made an elder happy. So how much would that cost? Like, if I was to put a dollar amount on it and say, you know what, I'm going to forego the approval. I mean, she told me I was a perfect gentleman. I don't let women call me gentleman, because that's kind of an insult. But the elders say, you know, I let her live. You know, but I know what it means coming from an older woman to say, you were a perfect gentleman. Thank you so much. I've been telling everybody about you and telling them that there's still good people left in the world. Right? So, okay, well, let's put a dollar value on that. Like, how much, if I say, hey, man, I'm going to forego that and, you know, tell the old lady, give me some bread, what would it be? Right? I guess it would depend on how much your soul is worth to you. You know? But I'm not going to, you know, like she kept saying, I want to do something for you. I'm going to turn around and be like, you give me $100. Give me $50. Give me a 20. Give me $5. You gave me more than I could have given myself. I can give myself $20. I can give myself $50. I can give myself $100. You know what I mean? I can't give myself a smile from an elder. I don't do that. You know, I can't do that. Even if I were to, still waiting on the estimate. Come on, that shouldn't have took that long. I'm having some carpentry work done on one of my houses on the continent. And, you know, they just move so slow over there, man. Sometimes it's a little frustrating. You know, I'm supposed to be giving my carpenter's supposed to be giving me this estimate for like 3 strongs now. You know, oh Baba, oh I am coming with the estimate. Oh Meriba means I'm coming. I'm coming, Baba. I'm coming. Yes. After church I will go and take the measurements. And then nothing. But anyway, I'll respond to him later. I'm talking to y'all. So, yeah, man. So I just wanted to kind of share that, you know, the update. She made it home all right. It didn't kill her pockets. You know, now, when that water pump go, that's another thing. But she'll make it through the winter. You know, and she didn't mention nothing about them excuse my language. Them sorry behind son-in-laws and whatever. She just said, so I guess she's got a mechanic down there in Richmond that showed her some favor and was willing to make the drive for her. So yeah, but like I just say, man, you got to know what your personal currency is, and you got to know what your currency is backed by, right? So an elder being pleased is backed by spiritual energy. It's backed by communal energy. It's backed by collective national energy. It's backed by real energy. You know, when she said, I really want to do something, thank you so much, and this and that, that's backed by something. I could feel her vibration. I could almost feel to a degree of her relaxing. You know, like even when I was out there with them, like, and I'm cracking little jokes and like, you know, and she just taking her mind off of it and telling her, you know, sit inside the car. Why you keep trying to stand out here with me? And I'm, you know, leaning into the window so she can sit inside and stuff. It allowed her an opportunity to relax, right? So, you know, her approval is backed by a lot. It's not just her saying thank you, but it's also like she said, I've been telling everybody there are good people left in the world, you know. So obviously there was something maybe she was thinking or she was going through. Maybe she looking at her sorry behind children. Oh, it's 2 girls on Harley Davidsons. Okay. Maybe she's thinking about, you know, her sorry behind boys and oh, the video paused. No, I didn't pause the video. It's just the connection is so bad. All right, let's see. Let's see if it kicks back in. You know what I'll do? I'll end this live and start another one. That's what I'm going to do. I noticed the views was going down. I guess they thought I froze up. Yeah, so yeah, it didn't stop. It's just that I'm driving through an area that has like no connection. I'm in the middle of nowhere. That's why I'm gonna make this quick. But all I was saying was that her energy and her approval is backed by her power. It's backed by the ancestral, I'm not gonna say not yet, but the elder community power and energy. That's what her words are backed by. Now, if she was to give me $20, $50, or $100, it's not backed by anything, because the money is not, U.S. currency is not backed by anything. It's not backed by silver. Come on, man, don't do that. Merge properly. Exactly. Put your brake on. It's not backed by silver. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by anything. You see, so, the money that we spend, or at least the U.S. dollars, are only backed by our belief in it. I believe, if I'm going to use that word, or I have faith more in that elder than I do U.S. currency, which is backed by nothing. At least the approval or the sanctioning of the words of an elder are backed by her spiritual energy. So that provides, or that means that's a greater form of currency, a more valuable form of currency to me. All right, I just wanted to share that. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so my thing's gonna cut off again. All right, but yeah, that was the update. All right, peace.